Hi there, everyone. It's Cloudchief, and in today's Unplugged video, I just want to take a few minutes and talk about returning players and what you should be doing. There seems to be a lot of players that are returning who played way back in the days. There's all kinds of different eras where people are coming back from. I find it really interesting and also just kind of exciting that 11 holds that kind of experience that people want to come back and check it out even after all these years. And it seems a lot of people are coming back who were around in the TOAU era and Abyssia area. That seems to be the biggest time when people are coming back from. So I really wanted to just kind of focus on that and kind of give an overview of what you want to do, because when you come back there's just so many things different now. It's like, okay, well, what do I do and where do I start? I know when I first came back I was somewhat lost, and so that's where I'm going to focus on this video. The first thing you should do is go and unlock Records of Eminence. You can do this in any of the 3 home nations. The only real place that I know of off the top of my head is in Windurst Woods by the exit, but if you go and just do a Google search for FFXI Records of Eminence, you should find who the NPCs are. You go ahead and flag that, and essentially what Records of Eminence is, it's in your quest log, so where you would go to see your current and completed quests. There's a new section there, and you can flag mini quests, go and kill certain enemies, or just kill any enemies that yield XP, do certain number of damage. They're just, the list is extensive, and you get points by this, and you can even get armor and, other rewards, and that's really the first thing you should do, is get that, because immediately after flagging Records of Eminence, you will want to go ahead and start getting trusts. Trusts are essentially NPCs that you can summon to help you in battle. This is SE added trust to the game for the fact that the game at a certain point was dying out, and so to do just XPing, to get decent XP, you needed to have a party. So trusts are essentially there to allow you to be in a party setup even though you're solo. Now, trusts are limited on what you can do. You can't do extremely high. Well, you can do it, but they're extremely high content. They're limited in their AI, and they're just never going to be as good as at least a decent player. But you should definitely want to unlock trusts, as that's just going to give you more flexibility of what you can do in the game. You can go around as a DD and you can be getting healed. You can have a tank and other things. So then, after you unlock trusts, I know in Records of Eminence, after you have trusts unlocked, you can start, you can actually get a few trusts right off the bat. All you have to do is, you'll get one, you'll go summon it, and then you'll get another thing in your log, for another trust you can go and get. So then you can go turn that trust in. You can do this as a repeat process. You can kind of see this in my mule video on my channel. I have a video that it says starting out leveling a mule, and it's the very first thing I do is go in Records of Eminence, and I get these 4 or 5 trusts that you get. You get a tank, you get a healer. They give you just out of the box essentially what you would need just to get started, and I definitely recommend going and doing that. If you're a returning player, you should at least have somewhat easy access to getting around to the other cities, especially since they have home point warp crystals. You probably weren't in the game when you had that, but all you gotta do is somehow get from one city to another. You can just take the airship if you for easy access, and you can actually click any home point crystals. They actually even added more home point crystals, and you can warp around that way. And I recommend going to all the starting cities, and there's a handful of trusts you can get in the handful of cities, and that would be a good basis to get started, because now you have trusts, you have records of eminence flags, so you're getting lots of points. The next thing I'd recommend is start going through Rhapsody missions, and just by going in one of the starting cities, you should have gotten a cutscene that reflects this, and you basically want to start going through records of eminence. The main reason you want to go through records of eminence is you get all kinds of bonus key items by going through and completing it. Like a perfect example is Dynamis you could only enter once every 24 hours. However, by getting to a certain mission, you'll get a certain key item, and you can then enter Dynamis literally as much as you want. You can go in, spend 5 minutes in there, leave, and then re-enter. I'm not sure why exactly you do that, but I mean, essentially, there's no lockout on Dynamis. And there's all kinds of other things, like for assaults, you'll get tags you'll get an assault tag every 30 minutes, again, instead of, I think it was once a day that you'd get a tag. So, you get a bunch of things that make things easier, also make things cheaper. I know by getting a certain key item, you can actually use the home point crystals to warp around Vanadil for only 100 gil. It's something like 500 gil until you have this key item. So on top of that, you'll save money. It'll also, the further you get, the more you'll unlock from these Moogles. They're called Courier Moogles, and they're in all 3 of the starting cities. And once you get far enough, you can essentially buy any supplies. You can buy ninja tools. You can buy, cards, or not cards, but you can buy ninja tools. You can buy food, like pretty much any food you want. Sushi, meat myth kebabs. They have pear crepes, which it's magic accuracy food. They have skill up food that you can buy. I mean, essentially everything. Ammunition for whether you're like Corsair or Ranger. It's just the list of stuff you can buy off these Courier Moogles is just a lot, and it's typically going to be cheaper than anything you get off the auction house. Medicine, you can buy Echo Drops, remedies, holy water. It's basically just a one-stop shop that you can, buy pretty much any supplies that you would need. And like I said, it's going to be cheaper than the auction house. So going through records of eminence that's going to be one of the top things that you're going to want to do. If you were, if you quit playing the game Abyssia or earlier than that, whether it's COAU or COP, you're going to then need to start going and doing Adeline missions. But the nice thing is you don't have to be that far in Adeline missions to actually complete not records, Rhapsody missions. But you will have to go to Adeline at some point. But you do want to go to Adeline because there's decent equipment and things you can get in Adeline. And there's also just content that you want to do. Like Sinister Rain is some really good content, but I wouldn't worry about that. That's something for more down the road when you're at the point for endgame. But you want to start going through, unlocking the Adeline zone and going through Adeline missions. That would be the next thing I would do after, you've probably gotten to at least, I'd say you've gotten to the point that you have 6 trusts, and when you first come back and unlock trusts, you'll only be able to summon 3, so it'll basically be you and 3 other trusts. By going through Records of Eminence missions, you'll very quickly get a 4th trust, so now you'll have 5, and then as you progress further in the missions, you'll eventually get to the point so you can summon a 5th trust, so you can essentially have a party of 6 solo, which is, of course, extremely useful. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the progression path that you want to take. Once you've gotten all that done, you've unlocked Adeline missions, I mean, that's pretty much the path you want to go. They've made it much easier at this point to get item level gear. Like you can buy item level gear off the auction house. There's not a ton of it, but and there's even weapons now you can buy, and you don't even need to have be a certain was it rank. You can also get item level gear from the Sparks NPC. I probably should have mentioned that. You can get up to 117 gear from Sparks, and you obtain Sparks by doing quests in your Records of Eminence log. So that should probably be one of your first things as you're going through and doing all these things, making sure you have Records of Eminence flagged, and that way, for whatever job you want to do, you can get up to at least item level 117. Although it says it's item level 117, the gear's more like, I'd say, like 109 level type gear, but the actual item level that you're at, though, the higher item level that your character actually says in the log, the stronger your trusts will be. So it would be better to be using your 117 gear, just so that way your trusts are stronger, and that way it's making you that much stronger. And it would allow you to progress mostly through Rhapsody missions. You should be able to get pretty far, if not all the way up to the last chapter. Because if you look at the Rhapsody mission list, it'll be like 1-1, 1-2, whatever, and you should be able to get all the way up to 3 with just your 117 gear. You might even be able to go and beat it, but I'm not even sure. But once you've gotten that far, next thing I would say is go do some ambuscade, because ambuscade, even if you just do a couple runs of the lowest, was it volume 2, easy, even if you do it solo, it shouldn't even take that many runs, and you could get the NQ gear, the NQ ambuscade gear, not the +1 or +2, and that would be a really decent jump in your gear progression. I know at this point they made it somehow, I think, with Bailed from Adeline, by going to Adeline and doing different things. Essentially, it's like conquest points, but it's called Bailed. I believe you can buy 119 weapons now. I know when I first came back, it was actually extremely hard to get 119 weapons. The two easiest ways were to just get enough job points, which wasn't easy to do with low-level gear, so that way you're at least superior 1, and then you could get weapons off the auction house, or what was it, Alluvian Skirmish. That was another way to go about doing that. And a lot of this stuff I do have guides for, so if you're kind of like, what is he talking about, Rhapsody missions and stuff, there's, like I said, I do have a decent amount of this content on my channel, so you can go ahead and look it up. There's also just guides on the internet. Most of this you should be able to figure out with either checking out my channel or just doing a quick Google search or checking out some of the wikis. Most of this stuff is pretty basic and easy to go through, but essentially I'd say that would be my progression for a returning player, is if you happen to be back from TOAU, just trying to think would be the best way to get to level 99, because I know a lot of people who were around in the Abyssea eras, you could get to level 99 and there, but while Abyssea was decently fast XP at its time, it's not now. They've removed a lot of the capped XP you get on mobs, and you get significantly better XP now. Heck, if you're from the TOAU era, as long as you have gone and unlocked, so you can get past level 75, just going and fighting any camps that you did merit camps on, it's a decent way to get to 80 plus, 80, 85. If you are from 75 days, it's pretty easy to get up to at least level 95 cap. All you need is essentially Kindred Crests and High Kindred Crests. If you're like, what is that? They're essentially high level Beastman Seals. and kindred seals. They're just drop off higher level mobs. So essentially just go kill higher level stuff and you'll get these crests. And that's all you need to progress from 75 up to 95. The 95 unlock to get to 99 is a BCNM. I don't remember the exact details, but it's a BCNM, kind of like the mat fight, but it's slightly different. You can also do it with a party, but again, with trusts, it's not really needed. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the path I would go if I was returning. You know, it's of course, like I said, when you come back, it's confusing. It's kind of like, where do I go? What do I do? But yeah, unlock trusts, unlock records of eminence, start going through Rhapsody missions. You should be able to get at least mostly through to chapter 2, even just being at 75. If you did any, you know, worthwhile content at 75 and you had at least a somewhat decently geared 75, you should be able to get up to that point. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the progression. And then just start going through some of the other content. From that point, like I said, once you've gotten to 99, you have 119 gear. You're starting to do ambuscade. At that point, again, just yeah, finish up Rhapsody missions. Start going through, finish up Adeline missions. If you never did for whatever reason, try and go through and finish up COP and Zillert missions. With Trust being 75 plus, considering it's 75 content, it should be easy to solo. Like I said, with Trust, you shouldn't really have a problem. And just by unlocking missions, you'll get access to more stuff, and you'll get to endgame. I wouldn't feel... I know some people I see in shouts and things and talking, that they're like, oh, I want to get to endgame, you know, as fast as possible. I want to be doing the best, you know, highest level content. My recommend is enjoy the game. Enjoy where you're at. You know, like, at this point, you could go from start to... If you had a level 99 character with item level gear and trusts, and you didn't start COP at all, you could probably go through COP in a weekend, from start to finish. If you played back in the day, you'd know that you couldn't get through COP. It would take you at least a month, even if you were with a solid group who knew exactly what to do to clear. Just finding time that when everyone could do it, and then even then, it just took a long time to farm items, and it was just a lot. But again, being, you know, higher level now, you can blow through some of the content. So just enjoy it. Don't feel you need to try and rush through and get to it. It shouldn't even take you that long at this point to get to, you know, end game progress. So just enjoy your journey, and that's my recommendations for any returning players. You know, just go down those paths and, you know, enjoy the game. If you have any questions, feel free to leave any questions in the comment. I will do my best to answer them. I am going to be using my mule to go through and start trying to make some guides for COP, Zillerts, Rhapsody missions, because then I'll actually have something that's recording, that I can go back and record it from start to finish, which is kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to level up, my mule. Because a lot of the stuff I already had done from way back in the day. So I will be having guides come out for that kind of stuff. But again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them, and I'll do my best to ask them. I have plans to, improve my channel. I'm going to start probably live streaming 11 a little bit more. I'm trying to work out how exactly I can get it. So, because I don't currently have, I guess would be a webcam, so that way it's recording me live while I'm, live streaming. This is just a particular, HD digital camera that I have that I do for these videos. So this, wouldn't work for the whole streaming thing, because this just gets loaded onto a memory card, and then I just upload it that way. So, those are things that are coming for the channel. I thank you guys for supporting me. Because of you guys, I'm able to keep making content like this. The more the channel grows, the more I can try and do for the channel. And, thank you for supporting me, and may you have success in all you do.